I am here at Rodney Parade, home of Newport County Football Club. It's the first on a little tour I'm going to do a few grounds around the country. Just film at the back, so I think they're currently using the front for some kind of coronavirus testing. Obviously it's a relatively new ground. Have been here before, quite recently, for a Newport against Wrexham match. Came along here with my friend Dave O'Gorman, who's the captain of the Royal Supports team, and a few of his friends. Don't remember much of that game, I've got to be honest. We had a few drinks. I've also been to one of Newport's older grounds. I think it was a temporary ground while this one was being built. Got a good friend called Manos, who's also a poet. He's a massive Newport fan. He's also a fan of Cardiff and Arsenal. He's one of those people, yes, he does support three clubs, but he's a fervent supporter of all three clubs. So he gets away with it. I mean, he really is passionate. Also a big fan of the band James Manos. I haven't seen him for a while. But like I say, this is the first stop at our nearest and dearest rivals, Newport. Don't know what the nearest, well, I don't know about the dearest bit. And I will now be heading on to Bristol. I am here now at the Memorial Stadium, as you can see, home of Bristol Rovers FC, otherwise known as the Pirates, as I'm sure you know. This place, actually, at the moment, is being used for something a bit different. The housing staff for a BBC documentary about Amanda Knox. I'm reliably informed by Kay here, who's one of the staff who's filming me. And I've got to say, this is only going to be a whistle-stop tour, this one, because this is not a ground that I've ever visited before. You know, we don't have too much recent history. Cardiff against Bristol Rovers. The last time I played them, we played them, I think, was just a few years ago when we lost them in the FA Carling Cup, I think it was. And Bristol Rovers, they don't seem to be having the best season at the moment, and looking likely that they're going to be relegated, in fact, which I'm sure will cheer up any Bristol City fans when that's where I'll be going off to next. I mean, I've got to be honest, I sometimes wonder what is the purpose of Bristol Rovers. The fans themselves might not say this themselves, but it's almost as if they're just there to be a rival for Bristol City. But I don't want to slag them off. I would actually like to visit this ground because, as I say, it's not been one I've been to before, so I look forward to coming here again. Thanks. Well, now at Ashton Gate, home of Bristol City, of course. And it's another place that I think it's been used for something to do with the corona, so I'm not going too close. You can just sort of see it in the background. Picked up this quite cool paper from a street vendor in Bristol called Dope. Looks pretty good from what I've seen of it so far. Been here a couple of times. Come here a couple of times on the train. Did come up here once when Cardiff were playing in red. But, of course, given we were playing Bristol City, it was one of those rare opportunities to see Cardiff playing in blue, an away game, so I had to make that trip. I think I went on that one with Vince on one of his coaches. I have to say, in fairness, I mean, Bristol fans, you know, they do make a lot of noise. They really do make a lot of noise. I remember, I think it was here on the last time, they've got an incredibly long song about Cardiff, which in the old days they probably wouldn't have got away with singing, but I don't know, maybe something to do with the fans, the way we are now, certainly the way we are when we were when we were in red. They just did this incredibly long song, and then we were just sort of quiet afterwards, no real response, which, you know, they shouldn't be getting away with that. But yeah, obviously we're known as big rivals. It's always a big day when Bristol come down to Cardiff. So yeah, just a little stop here. And now I'm going to be heading down to the south coast, hopefully meeting up with a friend in Exeter. Hi there, I am now at St James's Park, home of Exeter City, also known as the Grecians. I'm actually being filmed by my friend Tim, who is a big Exeter City fan. Actually, it was only when I was just a short way from the ground that I remember that I had been here before. Came here for a pre-season friendly, and at that time, Ethan Ampadu played for Exeter, who's now, of course, a big Wales star. Tim often works in Cardiff, and when he's been in Cardiff, he's come to a few Cardiff matches with me. And in fact, he's been a very lucky mascot, because I think about the first 5 games that he came to, we won them all. It was only when he brought his friend along, we didn't win, unfortunately. Tim is always going on about referees' decisions, bit of a thing for him. And also we have a sort of another shared interest, which is a former Exeter City player who started out at Cardiff. I'm not sure if he started Cardiff, but he did play for Cardiff, Steve Flack. And except for perhaps more recently Cornelius, to my mind, Steve Flack was one of the worst ever strikers for Cardiff City. I seem to remember in a pre-season match he missed a goal from about 2 yards, 2-yard tap in, and I just thought he was awful. But for Exeter, in fairness, Steve Flack did very well. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn the camera on Tim and see if he'd like to say a few words about Exeter, and maybe even mention Steve Flack as well.
Well, Steve Flack obviously is a legend. He's kept us through the thin times when we were out the league, and now of course we're back in the league and happy. It'd be so good to come back to St James Park when it reopens and to see matches again. It's been such a strange and dead couple of seasons now.
Do you think you're ever going to go up though?
Well, we seem to have a love affair with the playoffs, and then losing in the final at Wembley 3 out of 4 times in the last 4 years. We will do one day, but it's good to exist, and for a fan-owned club, that's the important thing, that we're able to survive on our own funds. We're not relying elsewhere, and you can see with Ethan Ampadu and others that we're producing good players that are going up the league and thriving, and that's just absolutely wonderful, really. You can't ask for any more.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Tim. So that's just a little look at Exeter. Obviously, again, we're not going actually into the ground, but next stop is Torquay. Okay, I am now at Plainmoor along the English Riviera, home to United. Torquay United, that is. And I wanted to come to this ground particularly because I got quite a good memory of it. Quite a long way back. Came here on the train with a good friend of mine, Stu, who now lives in Indonesia. And we were 1-0 down at half-time. Came back to win 4-1, courtesy of a hat-trick from hero at the time, obviously Robert Earnshaw. And also, it did spurn probably one of the best on-the-spot football chants that I can remember. I don't know who it was, but the popular song at the time was "Who Let the Dogs Out," and he came out with "Who Let the Girls In?" Jones. Jones being Torquay's goalie at the time, and I mean, honestly, even the Torquay fans were laughing because it was a good chant. Even stayed the night here for that trip. We ended up going to a nightclub afterwards. We had a friend who was in uni down here. But yeah, so that was a good time. So that's about my memories of Torquay United. I could head down to Plymouth, but I've not been there, so not too much to say about Plymouth. It's starting to get on a bit now. It'll be getting dark fairly soon. So this will be my last trip for the day. And I think I might head down and see my ex, who lives near Bournemouth, and enjoy a nice pint.